Good afternoon, Pratmesh. Only Pratmesh is there. Harsha Molchandani, thank you for joining. Actually, my class is little bit late. I think that's why many students didn't join. Hopefully, I hope all will join soon, right? So, kids, without wasting any time, I will directly enter into the start the lesson which we are supposed to go through. And before I start the lesson, I would like to tell you that this lesson's video, which is there in the Diksha, will be shared with you in the class group. Okay, there is a video which is given from the Diksha. So that video I will share in the class group. You people can go through that. There are certain question and answer session is also given. Mini quiz is given which you can refer. But don't stick to that particular answers which is given in the particular video. You have to make your own answers. Okay. So the name of the lesson today is, anybody know the lesson name of the lesson today? Can anybody guess the name of the lesson? You guess, if you can. Can you just think which is not over, which lesson is not yet over? Banyan tree, yes. Prabhas Sharma, you are correct. The lesson is banyan tree, the banyan tree. So how many of you have seen a banyan tree? How many of you? Have you seen a banyan tree? Is there a banyan tree in your village or in a nearby place where you live? Is there any chance that you have seen it? Okay. In our colony. Okay, good. So, in our colony, it is there a small banyan tree. You know that banyan tree is a very big tree, right? In which we can happily sit, lay, even we can lay on that because the branches are very, okay, good, Pratmesh. So, the branches are very broad. We can sit on that, we can stand on that, even we can lay on that. And in villages and all, in the villages square, there used to be banyan trees which are very magnificent in its size, very big, grand trees, right? So here, the author is writing about an incident which has taken place in his life while he was sitting on a banyan tree in his childhood at Missouri. The writer is the famous Ruskin Bond. Okay, so let's see what is there in the lesson for us to install. The fight of the cobra and the mongoose is a classic drama often seen in India, and the outcome is largely the same. The mongoose is not immune to the venomous bite, but it's faster and quicker in motion. It is faster and quicker in motion than the snake. The cobra assumes a posture of defense that you can see in this picture. What is the posture of this particular cobra? Right? I hope you all can see the PDF, children. Okay. So, this is the defensive posture of a cobra which you can see in the picture. Okay. So, it stands in a defensive posture and attempts to reach the animal by sweeping strikes, means very fastly to try to strike the mongoose very quickly. Okay. But the mongoose is more faster than that of the cobra and skillful in just getting rid of its fangs. And this movement goes on for some time. But the quick moving mongoose jumps out of the reach and comes at the snake from another direction. वो जंप करके साइड में चले जाते हैं और दूसरा साइड से आके वो सांप का गला पे काट लेते हैं. So it comes from another direction before the snake can get into striking position again. Snake एक बार आपको पता है snake एक बार ऐसा striking करने के लिए गया तो फिर वापस पोजीशन में आने के लिए उसको थोड़ा टाइम लगता है, right? Within that time, the mongoose strike the cobra from another direction. This constant movement tires and discourages the snake. So, ऐसा आपको लगता है snake को ऐसा गिलना पुलना regain करना position it is very easy. It's not like that. क्योंकि उसका entire body को हड़ा करना और वहाँ से पीछे जाना आगे जाना it takes a lot of energy from the snake. The snake will be tired very fast. And the mongoose is finally able to leap in claws and bury its teeth in the snake's neck. Bury its teeth in the snake's neck मतलब वहां दांत लगा के चले जाते ऐसे नहीं. The meaning of that is when the snake is tired, the mongoose gets a chance to bite the snake on its neck. That's the meaning. Usually severing the joints of its vertebrate. Means when mongoose bite a snake, it bites so deeply and so rudely and harshly, savagely we can say, that even the bite of the mongoose and the teeth of the mongoose even affect the joints of the vertebra. That means backbone की जो joints है उसकी बीच में उन्होंने biting करते हैं जहाँ snake collapse होते हैं. You know that something happens to our backbone. If something happens to our backbone, we won't be able to stand straight, right? So it just bites just below the neck so that the snake should not be able to stand up again. Then it start giving so many bites on the snake's body. At last, carry it to eat it, enjoy it, or to leave it. Okay. So that is what is happening when they fight. So here, part 1. Let's see. You must have seen Banyan Tree. This is a story about what the author saw, as I have given you the introduction. A young boy, when he was sitting in an old banyan tree in his grandfather's house. जब वो बहुत छोटा था, उन्होंने ग्रैंडफादर से मिलने के लिए मुसौरी में गया है. वहां उनका ग्रैंडफादर का घर के पास में देयर वाज ए वेरी बिग banyan tree. Okay, so climbing onto the banyan tree was one of the favorite thing that the other Ruskin Bond was doing in his young age. So at that time, what happened? That's what he is telling us. Part 1. Though the house and the grounds belonged to my grandfather, the magnificent old banyan tree was mine, chiefly because grandfather at 65 could no longer climb the tree. So what a funny boy was Ruskin Bond. देखो ये जो banyan tree जहाँ है वो मिट्टी मेरा grandfather का. He says that where the magnificent banyan tree is standing, so that particular land is owned by his grandfather. Grandfather is the owner of that land. And the house is also of grandfather. Both the things belong to grandfather. But he says that this very big magnificent banyan tree is of his. This banyan tree is that of the author, not the grandfather anymore. Why he said this, because grandfather is 65 years old. Now as an old man, he cannot climb the banyan tree. So he says that ye banyan tree sirf mera hai. That means he is the only person at home who climbs the banyan tree. Now, it's just for joke note, okay? Its spreading branches which hung to the ground and took root again. These are called pillars, forming a number of twisting passages, gave me endless pleasure. Among them were squirrels and snails and butterflies. The tree was older than the house, older than grandfather, and as old as Dehradun itself. I could hide myself in its branches behind thick green leaves and spy on the world below. So he says that this particular tree was so large, so big. Okay, it spread onto the nearby area, and there were branches hanging from the top of the tree, from the branches, and when it touched the ground, it took root again. So each branch which hung from the branches of the banyan tree slowly grew and touched the ground, and it took the root and it stood like another tree. And all these trees were joining to the different branches of the banyan tree. You know the structure of the banyan tree, I no need to describe it. So these particular branches, roots which is coming from the branches and touching the ground and taking roots again are called pillars. Okay. Why? Because it stands like pillar only. Okay. And because these pillars are formed at different places on the land, so in between these particular pillars there is a passage for the children to walk. here and there, and they can play hide and seek very well. Okay, so playing in between this was such a happy moment for the writer, and he enjoyed playing like that. And not only he, a lot of squirrels, butterflies, snails, birds, monkeys, all these animals also enjoyed the shelter and the shade given by this banyan tree. And this tree was there before the grandfather's birth. It is older than the writer, older than his father, older than his grandfather, and older than Dehradun town itself. That means nobody knows when this particular banyan tree started its growth there, because all the older people who were living at that time says that this tree is there from their childhood. So the author guessed that ये Dehradun town होने के पहले से ही वहाँ होगा, right? So the author is so small, the tree is so big. He could hide himself among the branches of the tree after once he climbed up, and he could see everything what is happening on ground. He can sit on the tree on top and he can see everything silently, hiding himself very nicely behind the leaves. Spy मतलब किसी को बिना समझ के देखना, ऑब्जर्व करना, that is called a spy. Now, my first friend was a small grey squirrel. जब वो ट्री के ऊपर चढ़ा है, सबसे पहले उनसे दोस्ती किया है एक हिलगरी. Arching his back and sniffing into the air, he seemed at first to resent my invasion of his privacy. So, at first when the writer climbed up the tree, the hilagari or the squirrel was not happy. What did he do? He arched his back, means ऐसा आधा arch में खड़े गया, and sniffing into the air. He was trying to smell the other's body. He was sniffing, making the sound. Okay, so he showed his disagreement that why you have come here. This is my area, why you have come here? The hilagari asked him, the squirrel asked him through his body language. But when he found that I did not arm myself with a catapult or air gun, he became friendly. And when I started bringing him pieces of cake and biscuit, he grew quite bold and was soon taking morsels from my hand. Morsel means छोटे छोटे दाना जो pieces of food जो भी animals को हम देते हैं, that is called morsels. Okay, so first of all, the hilagari was afraid of this, or squirrel was afraid of the other. But later it understood that he has no catapult. Catapult, you know, or rubber की और लकड़ी से ऐसा पत्थर से जो birds को वगैरह हट करने के लिए, पकड़ने के लिए जो use करते हैं, that is called a catapult. So he has no catapult with him. There is no air gun to shoot this squirrel. So the squirrel became very happy. The squirrel understood that this boy is also coming for enjoyment. He is not going to harm this squirrel. Now what happened, you know? The author started carrying some food for this squirrel, because the author saw that it is there every day. So he started carrying some biscuits or cake pieces for the squirrel. And when the squirrel understood that, are yaar, Golal, yes, Harsh, that's correct. So when he saw that this boy is carrying things which is edible for him, he was very, very happy. The squirrel was very happy. He started making a friendship with him. And he was very bold. He grew bold enough to take these food pieces from the hand of this particular writer. How nice it is, no? You will be keeping some biscuits or cakes in your hand and showing to a squirrel. So squirrel will come and take it from your hand. How nice the scene is, you just imagine, right? Before long, he was delving. Delving मतलब jump करके नीचे चले जाते हैं, that is called a अंदर चले जाते हैं, that is called a delving. Okay, so before long he was delving into my pockets and helping himself to whatever he could find. He was a very young squirrel, and his friends and relatives probably thought him foolish and headstrong for trusting a human. So now what the squirrel was doing is, once squirrel understood that he is carrying everything in his pocket, the squirrel has seen he is taking out the biscuit and cake pieces from the pocket. So what he started doing, he knows that the boy's pocket is already stuffed. So as soon as he see the boy, he started going inside the pocket of the boy and pick up the food pieces and eat it. So the other squirrels were watching this young squirrel. This was a very young squirrel. And the other thing that these are his relatives and friends, family members. And he says that the family members and friends thought that this young squirrel is very foolish to have a company with a human being. How dare he go to a human being? Don't he think that the boy will attack him or kill him or beat him? And they thought that otherwise maybe he is headstrong for trusting a human. ये तो पागल हुआ होगा. That is the exact transaction what I have to do in Hindi. Means they thought that he may be mad. Means senseless. The kilagri might have lost its sense. The squirrel might have lost its sense. That's why he is making company with this human being. Okay. In the spring, when the banyan tree was full of small red figs, birds of all kinds would flock into its branches. The red-bottomed bulbul, cheerful and greedy parrots, myna and crows, squabbling with one another. During the fig season, the banyan tree was the noisiest place in the garden. So in spring, after autumn is over, now we are experiencing autumn season, right? Once autumn season is over, then spring season start near about just before summer. Then at that time, you know that almost all the trees used to give us fruits like mango tree and all these trees, right? So at that time, this banyan tree also used to bear fruits, red color figs. So at that time, the birds come to eat it. All the birds are fond of banyan tree figs. So bulbul comes, parrots, mynas, crows, all these birds just perch on the tree for feeding it, and when they get it, they are very happy. They make sound. They make a lot of chirping sounds. So the boy says that during the spring season, the banyan tree is the most noisiest place in his garden. Okay. So by this, that means with the fourth paragraph, fourth stanza. Okay, fourth paragraph, not stanza. Stanza is for poems. So with the fourth paragraph, I am ending up this lesson here. Tomorrow we will complete this lesson, students. So I hope you all will join tomorrow also. Today I will be sharing the video of this particular lesson which is provided in Diksha. Okay, and I am going to give you share your class attendance link. Just wait a minute. Those who are attending the class, please wait. Let me see whether your attendance link is here or not. Give me a second. It may be here. I'm sorry, the attendance link is not here. So I will just take a screenshot of your the children, those who are present. Okay. Better don't go, just stay back. So I will take your attendance. Means I will take the photo of all the participants. Many of you have gone, right? Many of you left the class. Okay, children. So tomorrow we will continue with the lesson. As it is 3 o'clock, your time is over. So you can have rest. Tomorrow we will meet again. Please see the video which I am sharing. Okay?